It was in Pontiac, Michigan, at the Silverdome when Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Tonight's Raw, which paid tribute to Hulk Hogan, took place around 25 minutes from that venue in Detroit. The Raw roster paid tribute to Hulk Hogan on stage. They replayed Triple H's comments from SmackDown. He was not there this time as they wanted to feature more people who we didn't see this past Friday. Front and center was Nick Hogan, who of course is Hulk Hogan's son. He stood with his wife. Beside him was Bruce Pritchard, who was also in the front row, along with Eric Bischoff, who couldn't make it for SmackDown in Cleveland. He talked about that on his podcast with Conrad. You should check that out. He went in detail about his relationship with Hogan over the years. Of course, how he got him to turn heel and form the NWO and WCW. And he talked about how he just couldn't make it in Cleveland. I'm glad he was there for Hogan in Detroit. Eric Bischoff always stood by Hulk Hogan, always defended him. He was, in many ways, other than Jimmy Hart, as loyal as a friend as you can ever ask for. So I was happy to see him. So they told the bell 10 times for Hulk Hogan, and then we got a different video package than the one that we got on SmackDown. This one was mostly pictures and videos with the song "Ordinary" by Alex Warren playing. We got photos throughout Hulk's career. This one was more focused on moments with his peers in the business. We saw photos with him and Andre the Giant, Rowdy Roddy Piper, the Ultimate Warrior, the NWO with the founding members, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. We also got a nice photo of him with both Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. We saw photos of him with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock at WrestleMania 30. Photos with him with Triple H posing after that show in Backlash when he won the title again. And I was really happy they put this in there. I know it was going to stir some controversy, but I don't care. This needed to be in there. We got to see Vince McMahon's face on WWE TV for the first time in a year and a half when they put a photo of Hogan and Vince. That was so necessary. It was so needed. There's someone on social media I saw posted this. I'm sure it's been said before. I'm not making this up. It's not mine, but it so perfectly sums up both Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan and their contributions to WWE. Vince McMahon was Walt Disney. Hulk Hogan was Mickey Mouse. Nothing else said. That's their contributions. Those two are forever synonymous with the WWE, and I'm glad they featured that picture. So, the tribute was much simpler than the SmackDown one. Really, the one on Friday is a definitive Hulk Hogan tribute. There's no topping that, but I like the tone here. They're continuing to pay tribute. It's a nice follow-up, and I enjoyed it. You know, Hogan really deserves more. As I said, there should be like 2 weeks of tributes for the guy. That's how much he contributed to this company. But I'm glad that that the WWE did right by him as they needed to, and I'm glad that the fans were very respectful. Detroit chanted Hulk Hogan's name. They really liked him, as Cleveland did. Both Ohio and Michigan were very classy over the last few days. I hope they keep up the same class in November when they're at each other's throats. I think college football fans know what I'm talking about. But to finish this off, before I get into the show, I wanted to share a quote from a Michigander who lives in Florida now, but he is also a fellow founding member of the NWO along with the late Scott Hall and now the late Hulk Hogan. The man I'm talking about is Kevin Nash. So on this podcast, click this. This was a quote. For the people who want to go after Hulk Hogan for doing this or that, you know what? How about fuck you, man? He's dead. How about his kids, man? Can you just lay off the man? Ain't nothing going to change now. It's sensationalism. It's, I never liked him anyway. Who gives a fuck? Think about his kids. Think about his friends and his family. And if you don't have anything good to say, shut the fuck up. That's from Kevin Nash. That's exactly how I feel about some of the comments I've seen on social media. Thank you, Big Kev. Really appreciate that. Another loyal friend to Hulk Hogan. So, as I said, Hulk Hogan was like Mickey Mouse. The man who was like Walt Disney is Vince McMahon, actually. And in the quotes of Mr. McMahon, one of his most famous sayings, the show must go on. And Raw, after the tribute, started with Jey Uso coming out. He did the yeet. Detroit loves it. Paul Heyman comes out and ran him down on the mic. Crowd really booed Heyman. They did not like him in Detroit at all. He says all their moms lied to him except for his tribe, the Jews. And he says that their moms never lied to them or something. He then mentions Rikishi, and I thought, oh no, I hope Rikishi's not at SummerSlam, because I think Rikishi canceled a whole bunch of appearances because he was going to appear at I don't know what, it's not WrestleCon. Is it WrestleCon? I'm not sure. They do appearances in around SummerSlam weekend. There's a whole bunch of events, not as much as WrestleMania weekend, but Rikishi is going to make an appearance. He canceled it, and now Paul Heyman's mentioning him on Raw. So I expect to see Rikishi on Saturday. So, and the reason I say oh no is like, God, the guy's just been bashing WWE. He's complaining that they're not treating Jey Uso right. That kind of annoys me. I'm not going to lie. But I want to be nice right now. I expect to see him now. So, Jey Uso responds eventually to Paul Heyman with a fiery promo defending his family and his career. I just thought, man, he can't talk. His voice keeps cracking, and he just does the yeet again. I guess when he does the yeet so much to start, the guy is blown up before. So there's a lot of complaints I have with Jay, but this wasn't his best efforts. Nothing ever is, to be honest. But I guess his father Rikishi could complain about Triple H's booking. He has a front row to complain on at SummerSlam. You had AJ Styles, Asuka, and Kairi Sane taking on Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez in a 6-person mixed tag team match. This was all right. It just seemed thrown together. I'm thinking, why are they teaming together again? Just because they have common enemies. AJ Styles pinned Dominic Mysterio with the phenomenal forearm. I think that means Dom's probably winning at SummerSlam. I mean, usually before whoever loses before the show, that means that you're winning. But I know things have changed. I just think I'd be surprised if Dom loses at SummerSlam now. Backstage, Jackie Redmond interviewed Sheamus after he defeated Rusev last week. He mentioned Big E. He quoted him, and then Grayson Waller comes up and hears him, and the New Day is by his side, and he gets in Sheamus' face. He challenges him to a match, which happened later, or actually which happened very soon. And this was earlier in the day, they said. We got Sheamus and Grayson Waller. Rusev interfered. Sheamus won anyway with the bro kick. Rusev assaulted Sheamus after the match with the shillelagh that Sheamus had. He then put him in the accolade as they had to get him. They had to get Rusev off of Sheamus after that. Jackie Redmond interviewed Naomi backstage, and she cuts a promo on her opponents, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, ahead of her match at SummerSlam, which is on Sunday. Backstage, we saw Lyra Valkyria walking, heading to the ring. They promoted WWE Unreal, which I had to mention. They showed a long clip, and it debuts tomorrow. Then we got a Remembering Hulk Hogan video tribute. We saw Logan Paul, AJ Styles, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jimmy Hart, Natalia, Jey Uso, The Miz, and Cody Rhodes all paying tribute to Hulk Hogan. We got to hear Real American again by Rick Derringer, who also passed away a couple of months ago. And they, as they were saying that, all the wrestlers were making very positive quotes about Hulk Hogan. They're all praising him, putting him over as he deserves. Cody Rhodes said something really profound. He says, "We lost our Babe Ruth." That's exactly what Hulk Hogan was, the Babe Ruth of professional wrestling. So they also promoted Hulk Hogan's merch, as we heard Real American playing in the background, maybe for the last time, I'm not sure. We're not going to see Hulk Hogan anymore. He's gone, and Rick Derringer has passed away, so I'm not sure we're going to hear Real American ever played again. The greatest wrestling theme song of all time. I'm glad we can listen to it if we want to. Personally, but I don't think we're going to ever hear it played again on WWE TV. That's really sad to think about. So there's been so much death this week, and this was breaking during Raw. I just had to mention this because it's another big story. We heard Ozzy Osbourne died this past weekend. I did a tribute for him, but you had Ryan Sandberg of the Chicago Cubs. He played for them in the 1980s. He also passed away. I had to mention that. Another big name. Really sad there. So many big names passing away, especially from the 80s. So you had, going back to the show, you had Paul Heyman talking to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed backstage. They were hyping up Bronson before his match with Jay, which was the main event. Lyra Valkyria was out next. She is wearing these big shoes to mock Becky Lynch, which, she does to be like her husband, Seth Rollins, who wears those stupid outfits. I just thought this is dumb. Lyra's been so good the last few weeks. She's been doing so much better, but this promo sucked. She was off. It just seemed like Detroit wasn't that into her anyways. And then Becky's music hits, and we're waiting for Becky to come out. Eventually, Becky comes from behind. She's holding a kendo stick on the outside. Lyra immediately drop kicks her through the ropes, and she grabs a kendo stick and just begins whacking Becky Lynch multiple times. She's hitting Becky so much, and Becky was bruised heavily on her lower back. Then they get in the ring, and Lyra hits the Nightwing, stands tall over Becky Lynch before SummerSlam. I haven't made my predictions yet. I'll let you in on this, but I had Lyra winning this match. I really thought she would. After the show, I think I'm going to change my pick. I'll leave it at that, and I'll talk about it more on my predictions. So Corey Graves interviewed Sami Zayn, and this was before the show. This was a sit-down interview. Karrion Kross and Scarlett immediately crash the interview. Corey leaves. Kross brings the lead pipe. He hands it to Sami. And Sami is telling him, maybe you're wrong. It's an intense promo to build up their match. And there's been a lot of things with Kross. And he supposedly hasn't signed a new deal with WWE. I don't think they put him on SummerSlam if they didn't. But hopefully with Kross, I really hope he doesn't leave. That would just be awful if he's gone. He's never been this over. And I'm really rooting for him. I've talked about, he's really good friends with the late Kevin Castle. So I am rooting for Kross, but I'm not sure WWE would put him on SummerSlam if he wasn't going to be signed, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's the future of, with Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I know he's 40, so if he doesn't feel like this is going to be, if he really doesn't want to stay, he wants to pursue other things, he should. I really I hope to see him stay, but it's his decision. So Naomi was out next, and then you had the most awkward part of the show, I have to say. Backstage, this is after the break. Jackie Redmond's interviewing Bayley, who is very sad and depressed that she's missing both WrestleMania and SummerSlam this year. She's so down. She's going to cry. She has puppy dog tears kind of face. That's what she is. She looks so down. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I think I see what's happening. Unless Bayley's leaving the company, which I don't think is going to happen, I'm guessing Bayley's turning on Lyra Valkyria at SummerSlam, and that's why it's a no disqualification, no count, no match. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's where I thought. I thought, all right, what I saw with Lyra and Becky getting her ass kicked this week by Lyra getting whipped, getting bruised really bad on her back from Lyra. Lyra looks so strong over Becky. Bayley is so down, so depressed. She lost to Lyra. I think you can see where this is going here. I think Lyra's going to get screwed by Bayley at SummerSlam. Bayley's going to turn on her, and Becky's probably going to retain her belts. So we got a 8-woman tag team match. Naomi was already out, and then Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervers came out. And then their opponents. First, Stephanie Vaquer came out to a big pop. Io Sky got a big pop. So actually, I'm sorry, Io Sky came out first. She got a good pop. And Stephanie Vaquer, as I mentioned, of course, she always gets a good pop. Nikki Bella got a decent pop. And speaking of pops, Rhea Ripley, when she came out, the roof just blew off. Insane reaction for Rhea Ripley. When I saw Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquer standing on the stage, they were like the dream team. It's like a super team. Plus Nikki Bella. No offense to Nikki, she hasn't been bad when since she's been back. But I'm thinking those three, it's like a super team. It's really something. It's an all-star team, whatever you want to say it. But Rhea, as I said, super over. The match had some. It's what you get with the tag match. People tagging in and out. You get hot tags. They're sprawling on the outside. They beat down Io forever, and she eventually, after they got the heat on her, she made the hot tag to Stephanie Vaquer, who got a huge pop when she got in. Eventually, she hits the Devil's Kiss to Chelsea Green. Crowd went nuts for that. Huge ovation, as you'd expect. Eventually, there's a whole bunch of people in and out of the rings. People hit their finishers. It's what you'd expect. And then Rhea Ripley is face-to-face with Piper Niven, who took out both Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer. Both Nikki Bella and Io Sky with a double clothesline. Rhea hits a riptide to Piper Niven. Looked impressive. Chelsea got in the ring, but Stephanie came in and she hit her finisher, the SVB, on Chelsea Green, and Stephanie Vaquer got the win for her team. And that dream team, that super team, is victorious on Raw tonight. Backstage, we saw Judgment Day and their usual hangout. Finn is trying to get everyone focused. Tonight, Finn and JD defend their tag titles. And Roxanne Perez bought Dominic a Nintendo Switch, which was a funny segment because Raquel immediately brings up Liv. She likes playing Nintendo Switch. I hear that's what she said. And they plugged the WWE video game, as you'd expect. LWO was out next. And then we go back from commercial, and the 4 victors backstage. We see them. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vaquer, all celebrating their win. They're walking off, and they're ready to head back to the locker room. But we see Nikki and Stephanie walk back. But as Rhea's about to walk, Io grabs Rhea's arm and tells her she'll never beat her. Rhea says, "We'll see about that." And I like that part of it because, yeah, they're friendly. But, I mean, it's going to be a tough match at SummerSlam. So we get the tag team titles up next. I'm glad this was on the show, not on SummerSlam, because they made a mistake at WrestleMania, or when they had the Raw tag titles featured in the SmackDown titles were just on SmackDown. Here they made the right call. This was the SummerSlam. This match did not belong on SummerSlam. Finn Balor and JD McDonough against Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro of the LWO World Tag Team Championship match. El Grande Americano interfered, and then Dragon Lee comes out, fights him off. And then there's a second Americano who comes in. He interferes. Judgment Day wins. I'm thinking to myself, are we going to get like 3 El Grande Americanos when Chad Gable comes back? Who, by the way, accidentally blew his cover at a baseball game. He was interviewed. He accidentally revealed he is El Grande Americano. Jey Uso warmed up backstage. We saw Gunther heading to the ring. Then they promote Hulk Hogan's LJN action figure, which was cool. It looks like the old one. It's definitely something to buy if you're a collector, or if you just want to pay tribute to the Hulkster. Definitely buy it. So I'd recommend getting it if you want to. Gunther was out next. He's cutting a promo on Punk, and the fans are cheering for Punk. He's super over in Detroit tonight. Gunther was getting the what chants for a while. Eventually, CM Punk's music hits, and he gets a huge pop. He says he doesn't want to be World Heavyweight Champion. He needs to be World Heavyweight Champion. Cut a very passionate promo on his career, and he even called Gunther a kid. Very good promo by Punk. Gunther ran him down last week and got the best of him on the mic, so Punk needed something here, and he definitely got it. He did really good here to hype up their match. I'm looking forward to it. I think they're going to have a great match on Saturday. So they previewed a SummerSlam card. I don't get why Aleister Black and Damian Priest are on the show, and I wish they would have got Julia on the show with Zelina Vega for the Women's U.S. title. But that's going to be on SmackDown. But the card is very decent. We just don't know which night TLC is. I don't know why they haven't announced it. It has to be Sunday because I think the Saturday show has more matches. So I think they need to even it out on Sunday. But maybe it's going to be longer. I don't know. So we go backstage. And this wasn't actually backstage. This was a pre-recorded interview. We saw Jack Redmond interviewing Jelly Roll. He's cussing out Logan Paul, which was kind of funny. And then we got a graphic, and they said that this is the 12th SummerSlam to take place in the New York/New Jersey area, which I'm not surprised. I've known that. It's the 4th overall in New Jersey. You had 89, 97, 2007, and this year, 2025. So the announcers, as they continued to pay tribute to Hulk Hogan, they brought up that the Hulkster was 6-0 at SummerSlam, which I realized, in 1988, he teamed with Randy Savage, and this was the first main event of SummerSlam. It was called When the Mega Powers Take on the Mega Bucks. I think the most memorable part was Miss Elizabeth taking off her dress, but this was... They defeated Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase, which were the Mega Bucks. 89, Hogan, and he teamed with Brutus the Barber Beefcake to take on Randy Savage and Zeus. That was promoted from the No Holds Barred movie. 90, he defeated Earthquake by countout. 91, he teamed up with the Ultimate Warrior, and it was called the Match Made in Hell, in contrast to the Match Made in Heaven, which was Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth's wedding. At 91 SummerSlam, both Hogan and Warrior won the 2-on-3 handicap match against Sergeant Slaughter's team, and then didn't appear at SummerSlam again until 2005 when he defeated Shawn Michaels. And then his final match in WWE was at SummerSlam in 2006 when he defeated Randy Orton. And he had a leg brace on his knee in that match. That was his last match in WWE. So we get our main event, Jey Uso against Bronson Reed. So this was more of a segment than a match. Braun speared Jey Uso from the ramp, causing a disqualification. They beat down Jey Uso. Roman Reigns comes out, makes a save. He gets a big pop, as you'd expect. And Roman cleans house. Him and Jey hit super kicks. Roman hit Superman punches. And it looked like that both Roman Reigns and Jey Uso would stand tall before SummerSlam, and boy, was I wrong. That did not happen at all. So Roman's going after Braun. He's running after him, but he gets speared on the outside, and simultaneously Bronson Reed hit a clothesline to Jey Uso. And then they threw Jey in the ring. Braun hit the tsunami on Jey. Before that, Braun hit a spear on Jey. Then Bronson hit the tsunami. And then Braun got on the apron, and he did a flying clothesline, jumping off the apron onto Roman Reigns, and they rolled off the announce table, which was a cool spot. Then they throw Roman Reigns in the ring, and after the clothesline, Bronson Reed hits a tsunami to Roman Reigns. And then both Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are near the barricade, and Braun Breaker runs across the outside area to get all that speed. And he's running at full speed, and he hits a double spear onto both Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, and they just go smashing through the barricade. Crazy visual. And he destroys them both. And then you had Bronson Reed randomly just stealing Roman Reigns' shoes and posing with them and even kissing him and kissing them. And that's how Raw ended, with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed along with Paul Heyman posing as they get the heat on their opponents before SummerSlam. So Raw, that's how it ended in Detroit, Michigan. And of course, I want to credit the Detroit crowd again for paying respect, for being very respectful, very classy to our fallen icon, fallen legend, the immortal Hulk Hogan. As I said, these past few videos I've done, the Raw review, SmackDown review, and then the one on his the tribute video, and then the legacy video. We can't understate his contributions to the wrestling business. It's impossible to list them all. The man's just been so influential. That quote I saw on social media, that post, it stuck with me, man. It's so profound. Hulk Hogan was the Mickey Mouse to Vince McMahon's Walt Disney. That's what they were. Their legacies are untouchable. They're synonymous with WWE, both Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon. It's been a whirlwind of emotions the last 4 days. It's not often you lose such an icon to an industry. It's not often someone that of his stature passes away. We're gonna remember where we were when we heard the news, and this closes it out now of talking about this, and we're just gonna go talk about SummerSlam week after this, and eventually, as Vince McMahon said, the show must go on. And Hulk Hogan, I don't know what else to say, brother. Your contributions will always be appreciated. Everything you did for this business, everything you achieved, it'll never be forgotten. Hulk Hogan was truly immortal. Terry Bollea passed away this past Thursday on July 24th, but Hulkamania will live forever. We are going to miss you, Hulk. Rest easy, brother.